All right, this is Sweet Oblivion long form interview. First of all, my name is. I know I've gone by Rue before instead of the scales, but my name is Chad. I'm sitting in front of my, or sorry, I'm sitting behind my drum set because I figured it's probably the most fitting place for me to sit to record this interview. My first instrument was actually drums when I was 5, and then at 23, now picked them up again. Anyway, so I'm just gonna delve a little bit into the history of Synth the Scales now and/or Sweet Oblivion. So first of all, we're changing the name to Sweet Oblivion, and actually, I have a second band member now. His name is Logan Gist, Logan Gist, or Loca, or as he goes on Discord, Grave. He is also another, well, you all know what I am, but he is another wolf, furry, also a metalhead, but he's 30 years old, so he's just a few years, he is, I'm 23, so he's 7 years older than me, which is, that's fine as long as he's not, like fucking 50 plus or whatever. Or like 36 up. I think right now I would say I think most people have like a 10-year cutoff of, people to be friends with or people to have in their life or whatever. So the cutoff for me right now would be 33. So 10 years older than me. That's what I've if you're 33, then your cutoff would probably like you wouldn't want like a 45 or 46-year-old in your band, pretty much, if you know what I'm saying. It's just Sins of the Scales really started as just kind of a bedroom project between my remotes. The original second band member technically was Gabriel Yaden. So if you're listening to this, Gabe, thank you very much again for everything. But I've also collaborated with other people for album covers. So like Gabe and I did the Dopamine EP. That's all us. That's all I came up with all the ideas for the sounds of the drum programming, like all the cymbals, all the effects, the techno horror, bile influence snare, and also it kind of sounds like a Chimera and or Spineshank, Slipknot. Like the Kibble single has more of like a Joey Jordison kind of kind of similar to this. It's a 2005 Steel Piccolo Mapex, but I don't think I need to talk too much about. It's just the basic, 5-piece drum set, double bass, and then sound percussion, which is Chinese Drumworks or DW, pretty much. And then just the hi-hat, crash in or ride, and then the bigger ride. So that's what I'm running with for drums right now. So I do have some flyers up around in my not in my own neighborhood, but just like spread out around town, because there's some certain people I don't want to see them. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily want my my immediate, at least my immediate family, finding out about all this because there's some kind of like provocative or mature material with some provocative or mature themes like album covers and songs and lyrical content that not everyone is going to agree with, obviously. So anyways, or it's not going to fly for them, whatever. I think you all know what I'm saying for the most part. Logan and I, we have actually been talking on Discord for a few years now. So he actually met him through the metal trenches, or I met him again. I forgot exactly the first time how I met. I think I might have actually gotten actually, Logan, correct me on this, I might have gotten a random friend request from you, and it just, he was like saying like, hey, you know, I'm a metalhead, I'm a guitarist too from California. It's just, you know, I'm a little older than you. Are you cool with that? I'm like, yeah, as long as you're not like fucking 40 plus or whatever. But I mean, yeah, he's cool, super chill dude. You know, also has some, you know, autism, mental issues, which is, you know, kind of the standard for metal musicians or artists. But I mean, you got to be at least somewhat insane to do this shit, you know, especially if you're involving the furry fandom and everything. But yeah, and you have to be creative and smart enough, and also kind of dumb enough to do it. But I mean, yeah, I mean, brave enough as well. Bravery is a big thing in metal, so in rock music in general. So yeah, a little bit more about the history. So yeah, Gabe and I started it just kind of as a DIY project, kind of like if you really want to go back, like Devo. I actually love Devo, and yeah, so Send of the Scales was, the name itself was influenced by the Sister Machine Gun album that I have on CD in my other room, Sins of the Flesh, and also the song Sins of the Flesh, which is on the first track on the same album, which came out originally in 92. So yeah, and Sweet Oblivion, I'm wearing my Deadlight shirt right now. So Sweet Oblivion was actually an original Deadlight song off of their 2000 album, and yeah, that's how it's progressing. So I've been doing this since October 2024. It's now August of 2026. So going on for basically, if you want to be technical, 2 calendar years. But I view it more as, it feels more like 3 years to me going on for, if you want to go by calendar years. But yeah, it's all semantics anyways, you know. I mean, at this point, you know, time is just numbers and what we decide to follow. So yeah, what else? So yeah, I've been doing this now for pretty much 3 years. Started with the Dopamine EP. Then we came out with the Kibble single. I think that's where we got more inspiration for having more of a very specific sound involving the kind of like the super heist Australian influence, the more kind of desert rock, stoner rock influences. Also Sunk Loto and Caius and Fu Manchu, stuff like that. And then also still having, you know, some kind of like there are death metal influences as well, groove metal, thrash metal, of course, punk, obviously, because punk is a very close cousin to industrial music. So without punk music, there wouldn't be industrial. Actually, Devo themselves were influenced by punk back in the 70s. So yeah, what else? Gothic, and like I really like Typo Negative and Fear Cults. I'll be actually linking all songs by all the, so the 3 bands, the 3 main ones, or 4, are American Head Charge right now, Deadlights, Fear Cult, and I guess Typo Negative, because I've mentioned, and now I have to, and Devo. So now I have to link their stuff in the description. So yeah, so in case for some reason, for those of you who don't know who those bands are, or, you know, maybe just haven't listened to them that much, I don't know, but so yeah, but mainly the main 2 meat and potatoes of this project is new metal and industrial. So with like, I want to say like tinges of gothic and alternative, includes like grunge, like dream pop, kind of like we have some influences like Smashing Pumpkins. Deadlights have Smashing Pumpkins influences, but yeah, it's a whole package. So it's a lot of different, you know, a lot of different sounds, a lot of different influences. I mean, I feel like we have a better idea of what we actually want Sweet Oblivion to be. But like all I know right now is gonna be it's not gonna have anything to do with really furries. It might have some like just like basic like character art, but it's not really gonna be like fully talking about whatever kind of like weird or strange or like bullshit problems in the furry fandom. It's not really going to be too not too provocative or sexual or mature, etc. Not really going to. Well, I mean, I feel like mentioning alcohol and weed is like that's like standard in new metal, kind of in industrial music as well. That's standard in metal music in general. So yeah, I mean, some kind of little bit of drug use lyrics. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, just I think that's about So yeah, Sweet Oblivion. Once so like I mentioned in some previous shorts, so we're going to have. Logan and I are designing our own flyers. Again, it was my idea. He's just putting it on paper. He's actually, putting it into progress. So he's gonna, he's getting his stylus in the mail tomorrow. He's going to start designing them and printing. He's sending the design to me. I'm printing them out here while I'm home alone at the moment for a couple more days anyway. So yeah, and then all right, so yeah, I mean, if you live in the OC Lake Forest area, and or if you actually, I know Logan's going to be home alone as well for 4 days on August 10th. So it's like just a few days after me, which kind of like it's kind of funny because like it's just the numbers are higher. I mean, they say age is a number. I mean, calendar days are just numbers. Honestly, too. But I mean, yeah, it's just, it's what you make of it and it's who people are inside, basically. The numbers really don't mean anything. But, because, let's face it, we all get born. We all are born, we all will die one day, It's what you do with your time here. So yeah. What else? Yeah, so he's Logan has some like black metal, more death metal. I do like some black metal. Like I think he kind of looks like Pell from Freezing or not Freezing Moon Mayhem. It's a band. Freezing Moon is their big song that I think most metalheads have probably heard at this point. But yeah. All right, that's just about it. And then if anyone else, as usual, I'm going to be putting my links in the descriptions, and I'm actually going to be recording a vocals only cover of Sweet Oblivion by the Deadlights. So as usual, whatever links I feel like and or need to put in the description will be there. To all my socials, my Discord, my BlueSky, Twitter, Instagram, and Telegram. So yeah. And also I'll put actually in my recent short I'm gonna be putting Graves Discord because that's the only thing. That's what I'm talking to him mainly on. So yeah. All right, that does it pretty much for my interview. So now, Logan, you have an idea of what to do for your long form segments of this shit. So yeah, all right, rock on, peace out. Thanks y'all for watching and or listening. If you're listening to this on Spotify, thank you so much. Or watching or listening on YouTube, thanks for all your support. And yeah, just at this point, we've even done I even did the Wings of Fire characters segment to or pieces, album, singles, whatever. So yeah. To make up for me actually, so I'm just gonna say it. So I did get banned from the Outclaws podcast server for reasons I do not care to delve into at the moment. But yeah, I think I just pretty much I've made up for that now. Now I'm just kind of fully focusing on the band as well, and I did that. So proof that really, I mean, I can do it all. Logan can kind of do it all, or he can do it all. This is a project that I would like. We can basically kind of do it all, more or less. But yeah. All right. Thanks for everything. Peace out. Ending the recording now.